Morning, friends!
Good morning!
Welcome to Wednesdays with Whitney. I'm Whitney, and today I'm here with Brandy Looters, the Grateful Chef.
The Grateful Chef,
Yes.
That's me. Yeah.
That is her, and we are live at her space. Can you tell us exactly where we're located, what we're doing here? Tell us a little introduction to the Grateful Chef.
All right, perfect. So the Grateful Chef is a cute little shop that you'll find just south of the East Village. We always tell people if you're on East 6th in the East Village, just take that south. You're gonna cross over the river, keep going a little bit, you'll come to a cute little neighborhood over here on the south side. We're at the corner of Southeast 6th and Hartford. We have a storefront with a sign out front, and there's cute living apartments up above. So it's a modern building over here, and that's where you can find us. We're open over here Tuesday through Saturday every week.
And so I moved to the south side last June. That's getting hard. I'm almost here a year.
Yeah.
And before I even moved in, I stopped in for the very first time to see Brandy because I had heard about Brandy for so many people. Specifically though, people just like myself, people who work at their passion all day long every day. And so my passion of cooking had really gone by the wayside, meaning I was eating out almost every single meal, which is not a lifestyle that I enjoyed, but it was out of necessity.
Yeah.
And so my friend Lindsay Mollenhauer, hey Lindsay, was like, why are you doing that? You can have Brandy make all your food for you. I was like, where is this heaven land? So when I stopped in here, I was like, I am gonna be here every week. And that's
and you
true.
are.
I'm
and
here
you are.
every
Yes.
week, either
yes,
Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yeah,
getting
absolutely.
my big bag of food that keeps me going.
Yeah.
So tell us how this all started, because the Grateful Chef fills a really specific niche for people. It's not necessarily going out to eat, although you can eat in the shop.
Right.
And it's not, it's so different. Like I come in, I grab my salads, I grab my sandwiches, but I also stock my freezer, and I can get dessert.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like that is an issue over, they're so good. Okay, so tell us how it all started.
All right, so how the Grateful Chef started was, it's been 10 years ago this spring that I was a stay-at-home mom back then. At the time, I had one child. Maybe I had two by then. It's all kind of a blur. Anyway, so I was a stay-at-home mom doing the cooking, the traditional meals for my family at home, which, by the way, it's like it doesn't happen anymore,
Do
unfortunately.
they not eat Grateful Chef food?
No, they do eat
Okay.
Grateful Chef food, but we just
wondered that.
No, they do, and they're really great. They're really great eaters. I'm very fortunate, but it's just now that we cook for everyone else, that cooking at home thing is a little bit more rare.
Yes.
But anyway, taking you back to then, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was cooking for my own family, and I had a friend come to me who had just had her third child, and she's like, Brandy, I'm desperate. I'm not getting to the kitchen. We're doing takeout, you know.
Yeah.
Could you just make extra food that you make for your own family? She's like, I'll pay you for it. She was so desperate. She said, by the way, I have a neighbor who would be interested. Could you do it for her also? And it was like this little light bulb kind of went off in my mind, and I was like, you know, maybe this is a thing. Maybe people need this. So it started out very organically, cooking for friends from home 10 years ago. And over time, so I was doing that while I was still raising my kids. So it was on a smaller scale, and then we eventually moved into a first commercial kitchen a couple years later, and we've been in shared kitchen spaces doing the meal portion of the business for the last 8 years.
So that's where people pre-order meals every week and pick up on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays, we're very lucky to be here on a Wednesday because this is your biggest day of the week.
It is our biggest day of the week.
Thanks for letting us be
no
here.
problem.
So that happened, and then?
Yes. So then we moved into this space, this beautiful space over here on the south side, which is also, Whitney lives close by. I live 3 minutes from here, so it's like a really great neighborhood. Anyway, so we've been here it'll be 2 years in July that we've been in this space, and when we moved in this space, we now have the capacity to do more than just those pre-ordered meals. So you can kind of see behind us, we're going to do a little tour in a little bit, but we also have a case over here that we call our grab-and-go case, which is what Whitney shops from a lot.
I can tell you all about that case.
And so in that case, you can stop in Tuesday through Saturday. Anyone is welcome to come and grab anything from it. It's very fresh, fun, colorful food that will make you happy to look at and to eat. We also have a freezer that we stock with meals that anyone could come in and choose from during those Tuesday through Saturday hours. And then like Whitney was talking about, the pre-ordered meals, that is still in existence. That's still kind of my baby. So every week I create a new menu. That menu goes out to whoever wants to get it. It goes out on Thursday, and then you have from Thursday until Monday to place your order. And then Wednesday we're open from 10 to 6 p.m. and that's when everyone comes in to pick up that food. So like she said, Wednesday is really busy. We usually have well over 200 people who comes through during those hours. So it's pretty hopping around here. And so yeah, we have a lot of different parts of the business now, but that's definitely been an evolution over the last 10 years. So
well, and as business owners, Brandy and I talk, we don't have a lot of time to chat. Usually it's like hey, I'm getting food and she's making food, or we have a lot of Instagram conversations. But we connect a lot over being really busy business women that are trying to grow an organic business that serves our clients but still maintain a sense of space and boundaries and self, which is really I think one of the biggest challenges.
It is.
When we both have people-facing businesses and our communities are diehard. Like I'm a diehard. I know that there's like many people out here that are, we show up in droves for you. But then it's that balance of like, you want to give, but you also want to keep something. So when you're making decisions to grow your business, what are the things you're thinking about?
The things that I'm thinking about are, and I know that word balance is like, it's not really.
It's not a thing.
It's
not a thing in my life.
It's not a thing. At this point in my business, I'm trying to do things that allow me to regain some of my life back. I mean, you can probably imagine over 10 years, I have put in the time. I still put in the time. But now we're to a stage for the first time where we actually have 8 employees here in the shop. That's huge. It's amazing. So I'm so grateful to be able to surround myself with a support team that basically, as a business, you make the decision, you hire people who fit what you need, and you pay them to help you so that you can have a little bit more time off. So those are some choices that I've made over time, and it gives me a little bit of my time back. It allows me to become a little bit more of a teacher role, which is new, and that's exciting. It's kind of like letting go of control, which I'm not really a control freak, but it's still hard. It's a fun. I'm actually really enjoying teaching, and everyone who works here is really receptive, and they're actually all wonderful in the kitchen. So I'm lucky. But yeah, like as far as boundaries go, I'm a pretty good boundary setter, and we do have a lot of people. I mean, people will just ask for whatever you want, so you really have to be kind, but you do have to be firm. And I actually think in the end, people respect you for that. I know, I'm sure you have, and I've actually had people message me and say, thank you. Thank you for actually doing that. Like, thank you for being an example of someone who's willing to say no in a kind way, you know?
Well, I think it's so important. I was having this conversation with some other female business owners just yesterday. Clients don't know the boundaries. So unless you tell them, like I would never, and I'm very concerned about this as someone who consumes other small business owners, time and services. When I ask for something that I feel like might be outside, I immediately say, if this is outside of your boundaries or something you're willing to give, please tell me that. Because some people don't feel comfortable saying that out loud. But I found the more I set my boundaries, the more I say, this is what I will do, this is what I won't do, it really helps guide your clients to how to interact with you so that everybody's happy.
Absolutely.
Because I think all our clients really want is for us to keep doing what we're doing. And if we're feeling overwhelmed and saying yes to too much, I know that's when I start to pull away.
Oh, absolutely,
So like being able to create an environment where we're like, I will do this, I won't do this. Like, I just respect that in you so much when I see you doing it. I'm like, you go girl, you get it.
Well, and also I think that as a creative person, I know that the way that I recharge, I mean, that creativity has to come from somewhere. For me, the creativity comes in the downtime. It comes in being able to take those little weekend trips. And that shows up in the food. When you come in, you see me, that I've recharged, that I'm inspired again. And so that's where those boundaries are really important, because you have to give yourself that to be the best version of the boss and the kick-ass business lady.
Oh, absolutely. When I think about when my ideas happen, I am alone. I am there's rarely a time where I'm like, yes, I solved a problem and I was with anybody else. So if I'm not getting that alone time, then I'm someone who shockingly needs a a great deal of alone time, which
Yes,
is
as do I.
surprising.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If for people that, you know, we're in front of people all the time, I'm like, so where's my like 3 to 4 hours a day where I'm not talking to anybody?
Right. Yeah.
I went for 3 years without having that, and now I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
it's happening finally.
Yes, and look at you, you're on fire.
I know,
So, yeah.
I know, and I also think that like setting your boundaries and saying doing some of that work and getting really confident in your business, it gives you a little more space, and it also makes everybody happier.
It does, yes, for sure.
Let's talk real quick about the food itself.
Okay.
So I'm gonna describe the food, how I feel about it, and then you tell me if I got it right.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, I love vegetables with a little bit of meat, but for me, I just want like clean food. And when I started coming, I actually had no idea what the food was here. I just knew it was gonna be awesome. So every time I eat something, I'm like, this is like home cooked meal that I would think of maybe making for myself, but it's way more creative, it's way more consistent, and it's way better than I would make for myself. And every time I pop something in the oven, I just feel like maybe I did it, but I didn't. I didn't have to do any of it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I've appreciated it so much because it feels like home to me.
Right.
It doesn't feel like a cop out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh,
Like-
absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, when I started this business 10 years ago, the whole idea was I was going to cook for other people with the same way and the same standards and the same creativity that I cook for my own family. And I feel like I have pretty high standards. I mean, I know the word real food should not even have to be used, but unfortunately it does. And what that means here is that we get deliveries of all of our produce. I mean, we spend 8 hours in the kitchen every Monday with 4 people just chopping the vegetables that goes in all of the food that we make here. So we don't get anything in hardly prepackaged or pre-done or, you know, rarely open cans. Everything starts and finishes from scratch.
Which you can taste.
Yeah.
Because I taste when a carrot doesn't taste like a carrot anymore and it just looks like this orange thing, like that, I taste carrot. Like all of the flavors are there and present, which you don't get when something came out of a bag.
Or even like Whitney is saying, carrots. I mean, we're really picky. Like the carrots that I know one of her favorite things here is our chickpea salad wrap. We put shredded carrots on that. And we have before, because sometimes you're tempted, you're like, I want to get in the shredded carrots. So you order them, but then you taste them and you're like, that doesn't really taste the same and it looks different. So we do just little things like we get carrots in, we peel them and we shred them ourselves.
That's an incredible
It's just those little
amount of work.
details, but
that's what matters. I taste that,
exactly.
and I know that, and so they changed the chickpea salad, just a little bit, and it's something that I get these wraps. These wraps are amazing, guys. So this is what started for me. It started the obsession, and like I eat them for breakfast. I eat them in the car. I eat them all the time. And so I bit into one this morning, and I was like, the first bite, I knew that something was just a little different. And they had added a little bit more curry, and I was like, this is great. And I love that you're continuing to experiment with an old classic, but like, because of my obsession, I know that immediately.
Yes, so the wraps. So we're gonna do a little tour,
let's do it. Okay. So I'm gonna let Brandy lead this. She's very familiar. If you don't already follow her on Instagram, she does cooler tours all the time.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So we'll go over here. This is our grab and go case. So we'll give you a little tour. Kate is in the back making the sandwiches that will go here. So that's why that space
Are those
is
the
empty.
mint?
Those are the minted pea sandwiches.
I had one of those, admittedly, in the car, literally leaving here yesterday because I couldn't wait, and it was incredible.
Kate, will you go see if she's got one done so we can show them what it looks
they're
like?
So gorgeous too.
So every week this case, we have some things in here that you'll see that are always in here. And then we have a lot of things that change. These are the wraps that Whitney was talking about. These are the vegan chickpea salad wraps. They're very delicious. Then we do a different version of a chickpea salad that's a cranberry walnut chickpea salad that's super popular. You can come in and buy, so here's a sandwich.
Oh, look at how gorgeous that is.
Yeah.
And I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but I love eating vegan and vegetarian food. And I think there's a misconception that you don't have meat here, which is absolutely inaccurate because I was eating meatballs yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
So there's just a little of everything.
A little bit of everything. We have every week we have a chia pudding. This week it's definitely one of our more popular ones, the carrot cake chia pudding.
I'll be leaving with that.
Yes. You know, it's just, so this case is always filled, we always do a different hummus in here, homemade hummus. This one, it has goat cheese, tomatoes, and basil.
Amazing.
Vegan chocolate pudding. Oh, this guy right here.
This is my
phenomenal.
second favorite salad.
Yes.
Seeing as you came out with the Chinese chicken salad.
Yes.
Oh,
The walnut
so
meat
good.
taco salad. So the walnut meat is made out of nuts.
Yes.
You get your fresh homemade salsa. This is the cashew sour cream. You mix it all together. You wouldn't even be able to tell that that's not actually meat on there.
Oh, not at all. And I am notorious. I put these in big mixing bowls.
Oh, yeah.
And I take them places with me. I'm like notorious for doing that.
So this is the case. So this is
Yes.
anybody can come in and shop from here. There's lots of the options change all the time. Then we've got a freezer over here.
And John,
And
we have John too.
How are you guys?
John, tell us what you do here.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Kind of the front person, handle customer service, website in the background, run the business. Just all of the little details that make things run a little smoother. So.
Yes, he is the smiling face whenever I come in here. That's helping me out and loading up all the food that I
Yeah,
just
exactly.
bought. So here.
So this is our freezer, and these items also change weekly at least. So it's always loaded with different things. So like Whitney said, we definitely do cook meat. We have some Korean barbecue meatloaf with kimchi rice in
Yes,
there
I
right
just
now.
got that
We've
one.
got some grilled pork chops with roasted vegetables in there. Rosemary lemon grilled chicken. We've got some vegan jackfruit jambalaya.
I'm excited
if you've
to try
If
that.
you've ever had the jackfruit, we do a lentil walnut vegan. It's a loaf, like a veggie loaf with roasted garlic mashed potatoes, all sorts of soups.
Yes.
And so anyone can come in and shop from this case during.
Well, and what I love, like as a single human that's on the go, I don't get bored of the food that's in my refrigerator because these, I would say I eat one of those freezer meals. It's about 3 meals for me.
Right.
And with 3 meals, you're kind of done eating whatever you're
Right.
eating.
Yep.
But I don't feel guilty because usually if I was going to make something of this caliber,
Right.
I would make like 6 to 8 portions and then I would freeze it and then I would never want to unfreeze it because I'd already eaten it.
Right, yes.
And I just don't have that problem. So there's like no waste.
Right.
I feel like there's actually just a ton less waste when I'm
Yes,
eating.
we
with
actually
you
get
guys.
that. That's a comment that we do have often. Yes,
Yep.
the waste. Because when you go to the grocery store,
Yes.
you're buying the ingredients, you're making
Yes.
the food, you're not only spending the time, but then you have those odds and ends in your fridge and
Yes.
you're like, what do I do
What do
with
I
this
do?
now?
Or the vegetables went bad before I got to it.
Right.
So I also
Yep.
want to show you guys where you guys can come and sit. So they have cute little sitting areas when you come in. There's John again. And then this is where you guys will come and check out. The baked goods aren't out yet, which is probably a blessing for me. But they are amazing. So if you stop in, you can grab a brownie on your way out. These peanut butter protein balls get me through the summer. So I actually just keep those in the car with me and eat them when I've been shooting for 6 hours and can't feel my head anymore. But yeah, this is where it is. This is where all the magic happens. So thank you guys so much for having us. You want to give a wave and
Yes.
we'll
Thank
send everybody
you.
on their
Thank
day?
you. Come and see us.
Bye.
Yeah.